Welcome to the Northern Corridor Economic Region, NCER, a melting pot of community, culture, tourism and industry, home to more than 6 million people. Spanning a large landmass, NCER covers the 4 northern states of Peninsular Malaysia: Perlis, Kedah, Penang and Perak. Discover NCER, a dynamic region with abundant opportunities to be explored. NCER boasts a strategic position as a world-class trade destination. Situated within the Indonesia-Malaysia-Thailand growth triangle, NCER gives you smoother trade with Thailand and other neighboring countries. And being part of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, NCER enables you to access to 30% of the world's population. Our efficient logistics infrastructure improves the efficiency of your business, which is why we are home to some of the top MNCs and LLCs in the world, with a healthy growth of local SMEs.
Intel Corporation chose Penang as its first site outside of the US in 1972. The government outstanding support is another reason why Intel has long been an investor in the country, and NCIA is one of the key government agencies enabling our continuous growth.
Smith & Nephew chose the northern corridor of Malaysia, and specifically Penang, for its highly capable workforce, proximity to other medical technologies, businesses and infrastructure, and access to Asia-Pacific markets.
得益于友好的投资政策、优秀的人才资源和良好的商业生态系统环境，京津作为中国最大的玻璃制造商之一，成功的在北马经济走廊地区建立了第一个海外生产基地。
Driven by our strategic development plan, NCER is set to become a powerful economy by 2025, achieving targets that are both people-centric and investment-driven, putting particular focus on developing our priority sectors, with our sights set on these key outcomes. Despite these trying times, our commitment to provide facilities for your industrial needs remains unwavering. Our high-impact thematic parks are now ready for investors. For our investors, you will be greeted with many incentives when investing in NCER. Apart from being a strong destination for investments, NCER also boasts a robust talent pool.
What amazes me and companies likes of USD in NCR is the ecosystem that exists here. There's a great access to talent, umpty number of universities. There are government agencies like NCIA which are facilitating the gap between the students and what companies like us need.
Our strategic positioning, trade partners and initiatives produce an impact that benefits the people, improving life for all. We have achieved great milestones since our journey began, attracting billions worth of investment, creating a high number of job opportunities, and growing the region's GDP contribution, proving our unparalleled commitment to growth. We strive to deliver sustainable value to all our stakeholders. From lucrative investment opportunities to unforgettable experiences, NCER has it all. Access an unrivaled infrastructure and workforce talent, and enter a dynamic and vibrant business ecosystem.
NCR welcomes global investors and corporations to be part of our journey to becoming a world-class economic region and technology hub in ASEAN.
Every entrepreneur dreams of overcoming all challenges to experience the sweet taste of success and to see their business soar to unrivaled heights. Affin Bank propels your business forward by offering banking without barriers and supporting your business goals.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's really nice to be here today. It's a very nice day, bright and shiny, and no sign of rain yet. I'm very, very excited today. I got Jason, old friend from Aslico. Hi, Jason. And I've got Amy. Ayo, this lady has got a dream job, so we'll talk to her in a little while. I'm Jade from the Artisan Haven. I spent 40 years in banking and now retired, and I run a Artisan Digital Mall. More about that later, what we are doing with the artisans. First of all, thank you very much to Affin Bank, SME. And this Affin Bank SME BizChat is brought to you by AFFINGEM. And AFFINGEM is very special. I mean, this one is for women entrepreneur sector. All right. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what we are doing in terms of social enterprise. And I think both of you are really into this business. Okay. Very quickly, a social enterprise, I think, is a business with specific social goals, social objectives. And it serves, the organization has its primary purpose to help social agenda. And the business always seeks to maximize profits, but also maximizing the benefits to society and environment. And the profits principally are used to fund social programs. So here we are today, very happy to talk to Jason and Amy. Jason, I think you and your partner Zin has been doing some really, really creative work, and Zin is really, really creative. And for ladies and gentlemen, for your information, Jason Wee is the co-founder of the Aslico. All right, and Aslico is something that is done very special and with very creative product. So with that, we cut over to Jason first, and let Jason introduce the Aslico. So over to you, Jason.
All right. Thank you very much, Jade. Thanks a lot, Affin Bank, for having us here as well. Thanks for the introduction as well, Jade. So yeah, like you mentioned, my partner is the creative brain behind the Aslico. So yeah, it's been 3 years since we started the Aslico. So what we do is we teach orang Asli mothers to work from home because work opportunities are limited. So we bring the work to them to make items such as these. Lavender eye pillows and also linen sprays. So these are items that they make from home. What we do is we bring all the products. What we do is we bring all the raw materials to them, the equipment, the training as well, so that they can work from home to keep their kids in school. By earning an income, they can keep their kids in school. Yeah,
very, very interesting. I think the they make something so relevant. Eye pillow. All of us are working stress, right? So we need to rest our eye so much. I look at the computer screen the whole day. All right. So very nice to eye pillow to rest. So Jason, the eye pillow can be both hot and cold, right? Do you have an open one for us to see?
Oh yeah, exactly. So you can use it hot, you can use it cold. Either just heat it up in a microwave or leave it in the freezer. We personally like to use it after leaving it in the freezer because it's really it's nice for tired eyes. We stare at computer a lot. So this is how it looks when you open it up in the box. Just put it on your face.
Wow, cool. And then so many colors to choose from, right? My favorite is the turquoise one, right? And this lasts very long, right? I think people have been using it for months, right?
Yeah, we actually have been using ours for 2 years. We leave it in the freezer. So it stays nice and fresh. Every time we want to heat it up, we just dump it in the microwave for 30 seconds, heat it up, and it's ready to go. So it helps a lot with sleep. So these two products here are very complementary and are what currently people want in the market, something to relax. So
Relax.
a lot of banks are purchasing it for their for their employees to relax at home.
Wow, talking about relaxation and chill out, we must talk to Aimee lah, right? Aimee, you have the dream job. You know, Jason, she's stationed at Pulau Perhentian, right? And she
Lovely.
travels to all the dive sites where there is coral. Can you imagine what a wonderful job that is? And so we in KL are trying to chill. She's chilling, right? So let's cut over to Aimee, and maybe Aimee, you can tell us a little bit about what you do and make all of us jealous lah. Over to you, Aimee.
Thank you so much, Jade. Yes, and like you said, I really enjoyed what I do here, and I take pride in what I'm doing. So I'm Aini from Alunan Project. So we are based in Alunan Resort in Pulau Perhentian Kecil. So before I continue talking, I think it's important for us here to know what is coral. So Jade and Jason, let me know, what do you think? What is coral?
Oh, coral! Wow, something beautiful.
What is coral?
Plants of the ocean.
Yeah, calcified. I hope so. My thing is calcified remains from living creatures.
Actually, you are halfway there. So corals are actually animals. You are correct when you mentioned about calcium carbonated skeleton. So this is a skeleton, and each of the tiny dots that you see here is actually one animal. So the entire colony is actually made up from thousands, perhaps millions of individual animals.
Wow.
And coral, they are considered as the reef builder because they have this structure that actually builds the foundation of the reef. If the audience don't already know, Malaysia is actually located in the Coral Triangle area, which is the world's top biodiversity hotspot in the world. Our marine diversity is actually even higher than Great Barrier Reef, although our area is quite small, right? But the diversity is much higher.
That's why we do have a lot of visitors, all right, and tourists and people who come to dive, all right, and to visit our coral reefs. Very famous, right?
Yes. So talking about corals and the project that I'm doing right now, we already have 5 nurseries in Perhentian, and generally in Malaysia, each of the islands have their own coral nursery by the local authority, by the local marine park law. This project was actually kicked off in 2019, and it is an initiative by Alunan Resort itself, by our environmentally conscious directors. So the goal of this project is actually to restore the damaged reef around Perhentian, as well as raising the awareness, especially amongst Malaysians who actually didn't realize that Malaysia is actually one of the top biodiversity hotspots in the world.
Yeah, wow, that's very interesting, right? And so I think your job takes you outside the urban areas, and so you are visiting all the exotic locations where people go for vacations. Okay, right?
That's true.
That's very exciting. I think that that keeps you very busy. I think Jason too does a lot of visits to Orang Asli centers to train the Orang Asli wives. And so you also work with a lot of mothers, right? Orang Asli mothers. So maybe Jason, you can tell us a little bit about your work there and maybe some data regarding what the Orang Aslis are doing and how they are faring.
Okay, sounds good. So maybe I share about how I initially got in touch with the Orang Aslis. That's normally the number one question people always ask. We started as volunteers building houses for the orang asli. So collectively, me and my partner, Sinch, we have built about 40 over
Wow.
houses for the orang aslis in about 4 different villages. So
Wow.
this is throughout a span of 10 years. So throughout this time, working with the orang asli very closely, we found that not only do they have issues with housing and also clean water, but the number one issue they face is that a lot of their kids are dropping out of school. And according to statistics, 2019 statistics from the Ministry of Education, the number is 24.6%. That's the number of kids who drop out of school. And comparing that to the urban kids, it's only 0.29%. So that's a difference of 84
Wow.
times. Yeah, and that's just what's reported. It's reported 24%, but the orang asli, the ketua kampungs will tell us it's about 50%. So it's a very high number, and the reason is because they just don't have enough cash. So we asked them, how much does it take to actually keep a child in school? It's only 150 ringgit per month, and that may sound very little to us city folk, but to a orang asli family whose household income is about 800 ringgit per month, 150 a month for one child is a lot, because they
Yeah.
have next 3 to 4 kids as well. So we were thinking, how can we, help them keep the kids in school? We could have donated, but how much could we have donated, right? That we couldn't help many kids doing that. So hence why we thought, why not we bring a business to them? So we initially started with cement pots, and we went to Kak Anisa's house, and she's a lady who we built a house for, and we were like, hey Kak, nak buat duit tak dengan cup plastic? So we started with bubble tea cups, and we started making cement pots, and that's how the Asliko started.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah,
That's very
and
interesting.
and fast forward 3 years later, from that one product, we have more than 20 over products now, and one mother, Ayu, our top mother in the most hardworking mother in Kampung Kuang, she makes about 3,000 ringgit per month. Yeah,
Wow.
from making nothing. Most of them were housewives because there's no work opportunities near the kampong, right? And they needed to stay near the kids to take care of them. So when we brought work to the kampong, it massively changed their lives. So now you see them with motorbikes, with nice
Wow.
remodeled houses. Last time got broken tingkap and everything. Now it's like, wow, what a big change. Got rice cookers as well. Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
it's
really
amazing.
very, very good. And that's what we are talking about in ESG, environmental sustainability governance, ESG projects, right? So Jason is so correct that it's not about giving people money like charity, but it's how we build sustainability. And sustainability can only be built if it is recurring and it generates income, right?
Yeah.
So
Spot on.
really kudos. Yeah, kudos. I
Yeah.
think you guys hit the right point. Yes, go on.
Can I add on? What we want is to inculcate this mentality that we want them to earn with dignity instead of just relying on handouts all the time.
Correct.
So yeah, it's lovely to hear them wanting to work now.
Excellent, excellent. And I think that's the message to everyone who's listening. If you're wondering what ESG is and why we must build sustainable or sustainability, it's like that. It's exactly what Jason talks about. It's not about giving people 150 ringgit, but it's helping them to be able to earn that money on a consistent basis and rebuilding that life, rebuilding the opportunities, right? On the other hand, what we have is IME, who's also doing a different type of rebuilding, right? And our natural resources and our coral reef, which we should be very proud of, also needs a little bit of help and rebuilding. So I cut over to Aimee now. Maybe Aimee can tell us a little bit about the Alunan Coral Project. You are a marine biologist, and you are actually helping. The organization is actually helping rebuilding reefs in Malaysia. Why do they need to be rebuilt? What are you doing? And how much are you doing? Over to you, Aimee.
That's great. I think Jason and I have a similarity in the sense that we are also actually using a cement pot, actually, Jason. This is actually the coral pot that we are using to plant the coral. So it's a cement pot.
Wow. Hold on, Gail. Can you give the spotlight to Amy so that we can see the cement pot in more detail?
Yeah, I'd love to see that too.
Yeah, good. All right, Amy, show us again. Wow. Oh,
So that's the pot that we use, and this is the coral that already attached and grown over the cable tie that we tie the coral onto.
wow.
That looks
Really
beautiful.
common.
It is. It is even more prettier when it's alive. This one is unfortunately a dead one.
Okay.
But
Do
yeah,
you sell those corals, Amy?
was it?
Do you sell those corals?
We don't, but we do have adoption programs where people can adopt, and we plant them in our coral nursery, which is located just out here. That you guys can visit too when you come over. So yeah, it's an amazing work, and I think the response that we have been getting from guests, especially those who have kids, little kids, I think they have been getting a very good input as well in return when they come and visit us.
So to rebuild your coral reefs, you basically create these cement pots. You plant live coral, and then you put it back out into the sea. Is it?
So essentially, because coral they have this calcium carbonated skeleton, right? So it's heavy. So when you have something heavy, you will want something a substrate that is hard enough and strong enough to withhold your weight. So what we use here is a cement pot because it has the strength and durability to hold the corals.
Mm.
Also, cement is part of the limestone also. So it actually goes back to comes from the nature too.
Mm. And how long have you been doing? How long have you been doing this? And how long has the project been doing this?
So this is actually my fourth year with the project, and
Wow.
to be honest, I am 200% attached to it. Because over the years, we have been exploring several methods, restoring different coral species, because each of them would serve differently in the ecosystem. However, results will only show years after a coral has been planted. For example, this boulder coral that you see, it can only grow 1 cm in a year. So
Wow.
imagine if you see a boulder coral this big, it's probably older than any of us here.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So you've been with the project 4 years, but the project has been ongoing for longer than that.
So officially, 2019 was when the project was officially kicked off, and that was also when I joined the project. So pretty much I started when the project was starting up.
Okay.
So as much as we are actively involved in the field, we also want it to be accessible to the public. There's a lot of exposure in other fields in Malaysia, especially terrestrial, like our tigers, even our zoo negara opens their volunteering slots almost all year round. But rarely do we hear about coral, as most of the work done around coral would involve only researchers and scientists. So through the project, we offer the public and private sectors to actually take part in, whether you are on vacation with your friends or if it's a company trip. We want everyone to be involved and actually making a positive impact to the environment.
Oh, that's really good. Okay. For sure, my next trip will be over the site, and I will do a live show on it for sure. All right.
Yes, please.
Definitely. Maybe now, I mean, it's a good time to show your video. All right.
Yes.
It's a very interesting video. So, Gail, if you are available, maybe we'll show a video. Tell us before Gail shows the video. Tell us a little bit about this. What we're going to see.
So the video that you're going to see is pretty much about what we are doing as a whole, and a bit of insight of how the area here looks like, and as well as the underwater nursery.
Yeah, we're going to see how beautiful your office is. Okay, and we all are going to be Really wishing you were there, right? Yeah, it's a very pretty one. For everybody's on the window that Aimee has, if you look outside, you could see it's a beautiful blue sea. You can see, oh yes, 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 right? You can see, wow,
That's your room.
that's your office, okay, all right?
Unbelievable.
Office in the Switzerland. Wow, really. You should see what I see outside my window, okay? I see the other house, okay? All right. Wow. Okay, Gail, are you
Road trip, Jade. We're
Yeah.
going there.
Next time, Jason, you and I should do our show at Aimee's office. Okay.
We will
Okay,
be
all
more
right.
than happy to host.
Yeah, definitely. We'll take your word for that. Okay, Gail, if you can just put Aimee's video on. Gail. That's very nice. Aimee, welcome back. When they say adopt the coral, what do you mean?
So what happened is, whichever core that you adopt will be planted in the nursery. So if you notice, we actually have this long log that have like a lot of holes in it. Actually, we have 5. So in each of the slot is where we will reach this pot in. Is there echo behind?
No, it's okay. Go on.
Okay. Yeah. So when you adopt, the coral will be forever under your name because we will have a system that's going to record, which coral species, which type, and where exactly the location of your coral. Yeah.
Wow, that's very nice. Very interesting. Wow. Okay, so maybe an appeal out to people, all right, who's watching. Please do. This is the Alunan project. It's called the Alunan Coral Project. I believe it's in Sabah, Sarawak, as well as in all along our coast. And in particular, Aimee is at Pulau Perhentian in Terengganu, right? You can also adopt your coral. Don't have to go there, all right? But if you are in Pulau Perhentian, you can adopt and they will put your name and they will plant that coral and you will contribute to the coral reef of Malaysia, which is very famous, all right? So thank you very much, Aimee. I want to go back to Jason. Jason, I think you've been doing some very good work. I also bought some products from the Asli Co. This one is called Kuih Seri Muka. Cannot eat one. It's a soap.
It's a soap, jangan makan.
So, okay. But so well done. I think they got many types. They got Kuih Bengka. They got Kuih Lapis. All right.
Nice.
They got Seri Muka, Kuih Bengka, and Kuih Lapis. All right. And comes nicely like that. So I think the Orang Asli housewife, mothers, they do this. Right, so it's Malaysian kuih inspired, handmade by Orang Asli mothers. Nicely done, and like that, okay? And wow, this one is pandan, right? You can smell the pandan, very, very nicely done, okay? And I think this is the creation done by your partner Zin, right? So she's so creative, makes so pretty, right? And we brought some of this to our DC Mall event. I think half sold out already. We're bringing the rest over to Intermark. All right, which I think Jason will see you on the 1st to the 30th of June at Intermark Mall KL. Right, I think you have done so much, and you have beginning, I think you said 3-4 years where you have actually been growing this business. Maybe you want to tell the audience a little bit about the challenges about getting to where you are today. So over to you, Jason.
So the challenges, well, besides the obvious COVID challenge, I think that one everyone is feeling the pinch there. But I think one of the things that I would like to highlight is the challenge that people think we are a charity. So as you mentioned earlier, we are a social enterprise. So it is a crossbreed between a charity and a for-profit business. But people do think that we are a charity, and they're very shocked to hear that we are a for-profit business. But we want to say that we don't rely on donations, because donations can stop and they can run dry. And when that happens, right, there is no longevity to the project, to the goal that we want to do, to the impact that we want to create as well. So profit does drive innovation. That's why we get to make different products, like our cement pots here as well. Yeah,
Wow, so
and
pretty.
yeah. So that profit drives growth and innovation lah. And in the long run, the more products we have, the more orang asli mothers that we get to impact and help. So that is one of the challenges lah. We would like to help educate people on what actually is a social enterprise. So we are looking towards doing more YouTube videos and Instagram reels to do more educational sharing about social enterprises. Yeah.
And I think very important is and I think again I thank Affin SME, all right, for this opportunity and the many others that they have given for the small SMEs to actually share what we are doing, all right, and like Jason said, all of us are trying to be not to raise money, right? We're not trying to raise money, ask for donation. We're trying to the old saying is we're not trying to give out fishes, we're trying to teach people how to fish, right? And it's really if we are able to distribute or sell the products, then more products will be required and more orang asli mothers will have a job and be able to create their own business, right, Jason? It's about doing that, right? And it's about right. Okay, and I understand, and I'm in the same position as you as well. I'm trying very hard, to get people to buy local products, really very local, not just for the sake of it. Okay, one time I buy local, but really look at our own local products because they are really good. They are really good products, all right? And you're going to spend the money anyway. You want to relax anyway. You want an eye pillow anyway. You want a pot anyway. Support local. Okay,
Exactly.
that helps.
Make sure
right?
the money is not channeled back to China.
Yeah, and all this money goes to help households, and households then can improve their household standard of living. And when they improve the household standard of living, our community benefit, because overall our community become more self-reliant, okay, and stronger. And that's what sustainability is about. So for corporates who wants to get sustainability, they want more customer. A customer can only come if the community and its households are stable and growing. And the way they can grow is when they can sell their product. They can sell the product because Malaysians support Malaysian products. Okay, right? So I think that's what the thinking is. And I really thank Affin SME for really supporting this, and AFFINGEM for supporting women entrepreneurs. All right. Over to you, Aimee. Maybe you can tell us about the challenges. I mean, not many people know about Malaysia Coral Reef. So it's a very good project, but it must be, there must be challenges. So over to you, Aimee.
Thanks. I think first and foremost, it is crucial that we pass the message that we have to preserve this underwater rainforest so that we can sustain our marine resources. As many marine life spends their early stage of life in coral reefs area, grouper, for example, they will grow and breed in coral reef area before they, travel out further in the open ocean where they can, feed on bigger fishes. Um, and coral reefs is actually very important in protecting the shoreline, and not many people actually realize this. So coral reefs, mangrove, because of the structure that they have, they will actually absorb the wave energy that comes from the open ocean. So as the wave comes in, they will absorb the wave energy and reduce it by 90%. So this is how they actually helps to protect the shoreline from damages. If you guys remember from during the tsunami in 2006, after the devastating event, people were talking about how we should be restoring more mangrove. So people have to we have to educate people, and we all have to work together so that we can achieve this mutual goal, which is conserving the environment so that we all can benefit from it as well. Like you already know, I am in the tourism industry as a marine biologist, because coral reefs actually plays a huge role in tourism. It provides aesthetic values to people who enjoys nature, and at the same time, it generates the local economy, from hoteliers, snorkeling operators, food vendors, and as well as transportation. So we want people to be aware of this and actually taking steps to protect this very fragile environment. However, conservation costs money. Um, for example, to deploy our initial coral nursery, which weighs about, I think it was around 3 tons each, it requires special equipments like the marine barge, a crane, just to initiate the program. That alone has cost us about 150,000 ringgit. And this does not include the 5 marine biologists' salary that it takes, to run the project. And not many people realize these hidden costs.
Yep.
So for the long-term success and viability of the project, we require funding, just like a startup. And just like any other business, we need income and also have expenses. If I can share a bit more, currently our funding mainly come from our coral adoption, our merchandise like the rash guard that I'm wearing right now, so that you don't wear coral killing sunscreen when you swim in the ocean, as well as public participation in our green snorkel initiatives. However, we also intend to work with corporations, larger corporations, as their participation will allow us to scale faster and have more, effective outcome.
Wow, that's very interesting. All right. I think we talk about preserving our environment. We talk about helping orang asli, but at the same time, we also need to look after our coral reefs, because they do so much for us. They do so much for us, protect us from the waves, absorb the wave impact, be the feeding ground for the fishes, right? And that they help us. I think it's time we give back as well. And 3-4 tons, right? One car is at least 3/4 of a ton. So that's about three. Imagine 3, 4, 5 cars down there in order to to help the coral reefs, right? So very interesting. I see a bit of comments inside here. I have Irene Wong saying very interesting. There's a Tang Wen Ying, Vera Wong, okay, and Muhammad Amal also say good sharing. And Chi Li Ha basically asked, can coral sponsorship be done online? And she wants the contact. All right, so if you can, you can also send it to me. I will also publicize it onto my live shows and my chats. Right. If it can be done online. If it cannot be done online, I can help you do it. Well, we don't take commission. I think Jason know. We can online send it over to you as well. All right. So yes, or you can ask Affin as well. Right. So Liha, we will give you the contact. I think I mean, you can just share with us. All right. I'm also very interested in your coral, coral nursery, but very heavy, cannot courier to you. Okay, right? So, but we're happy to help people to do the coral nursery. But after it too, I need lorry to send over to you. My lorry will cost more than the donation. Okay, all right. Very good. So I think for the audience, please do help. But we are not asking for money. We're asking for awareness. We're asking for support, and we're asking to help build sustainability. So it's also not about putting money to the coral reefs, but it's really about supporting the rebuilding of our coral reefs. Right. Okay. So that's very good. All these pose opportunities, and all of these help improves either a household income or prevents natural disasters. Okay. All right. So you talked about, and Jason, maybe a very interesting point, especially since this is brought to the audience by AFFINGEM, which is focusing on the woman entrepreneur sector, which is exactly what the Orang Asli mothers are doing. Maybe you want to talk a little bit more about, how all of this. I think you touched on it a little bit. How all of this is elevating the woman's social status in the community.
Social status, yeah. Since we started, right, we have actually channeled over 970,000 ringgit towards the Orang Asli communities. That's close to $1 million.
Wow.
Yeah, in terms of wages, equipment, raw materials, and all that. So it really, I would say, has elevated, because we see them now with rice cookers. Previously, they used to cook with firewood. Can you imagine cooking with firewood? You have to go and chop down a tree first, and then slowly cook your rice and watch over it. We're so used to just leaving it there. So that's stuff that we take for granted sometimes. Even mattresses. They've gotten mattresses, sofas, really improving their lives. More importantly, a few mothers that we have, they're sending their kids to Chinese school even. So Chinese school, and then they send their kids to tuition for English tuition. Yeah, so all that costs money, and without earning any income, they wouldn't be able to do that. They themselves didn't really get to finish high school, but they really have big hopes and dreams for their kids. High school first, and then after that, college. Yeah.
Wow, that's very good. That's very, very good. So I think, kudos to you, Jason and Zin, and the Asli Co. I think you have a small staff force that is focused on this. So kudos to you guys. Congratulations. I mean, this is really good work. I mean, and this is truly what a social enterprise is. So I think AFFINGEM is for ladies, and I am so happy to see a lady marine biologist, right? And not only are you saving our coral reefs, you are standing there in front. Hey, lady, woman power, girl power. Any words to all the ladies out there?
If I can share, I think just believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself, because although it can be very challenging working outdoor, away from your family, on an isolated island with very limited resources, you just have to pull yourself together and just believe that you can get through it.
True. I can imagine you on an isolated island on yourself, collecting corals, right? Wow. It must be quite a tough job, right?
It is tough, but it has been giving me a lot of learning process as well, along the way. So I learned a lot, and also it has given me a lot of opportunity to appreciate nature more than I have ever done, before, especially when I was younger, because there's jungle here, and also the ocean is just right here. So although it's just an area that I get to go every day, it's always the different thing that I see every day too.
Okay.
So the satisfaction comes from there.
So I'm just curious, are there a lot of lady marine biologists?
Actually, yes.
Oh, wow.
Actually, yes. In Redang, one of their environmental officer in Taras is also a lady. Her name is Nurul. And there is little project in Perhentian also is the leader is actually a lady, Zafira. And another enterprise here on the island who's focusing more on the diving activities, also a lady. So yeah,
Oh.
a lot of ladies on the island.
Sorry, Jason, it's girl power.
It's girl power, yeah.
Girl power, right? I mean, kudos to you. I mean, very, very good job. This lady leadership, and to all the ladies who is holding all the marine biologists and helping our environment. I mean, I think I say a thank you to all of you. You're doing something and building awareness of something that's important to our environment and to our country. Thank you very much. Right. Okay, I mean, that's very interesting. I mean, I think we can talk forever, but time does fly, okay? And I don't think Affin's going to let us talk forever. So maybe let's wrap up. Maybe one last question to Jason. What's after all that you have done, 10 years helping build houses, and now 4 years, helping them to sustain a living. Sorry, that's my dog. Maybe you can tell a little bit about what your ambition is, your vision is.
So our vision for the Asli Co, of course, we would like to impact as many mothers as we can in the long run. But what we would really love to do is to have each orang Asli Kampung be producing one product. That's very similar to what we see in China, Taobao villages. One village will make one product, and they specialize just in that. So if we could do that here, if we could replicate that with our orang Asli workforce, that would be amazing. That way we can impact all the orang Asli moms, and they can work from home. They don't have to go out from the kampungs to work. And also ESG. Many companies are jumping onto ESG now. We would, really hope that they can immerse themselves in ESG and understand that the Asli Co fulfills the S portion in ESG, meaning the social aspect, and they can continuously purchase gifts and gift sets from the Asli Co.
Yeah, that's very great. So wow, that's a very, very interesting ambition. Imagine you have little villages, right, with product each. So you have the Sri Mukab, the soap village, right, the eye pillow village. Wow, so interesting.
That's how we're kind of doing it right now. There's Kampung Serenda who does sanitizer, and then there's Kampung Ulukwang that does the eye pillows. So we're kind of going there slowly but surely.
I'm definitely supporting this. I'm definitely helping to promote this, and maybe build some videos, make sure people know about it, and build the awareness of that. Thank you very much. Something that I would love to contribute to. Right? Excellent.
Appreciate the support as always.
Yeah, thank you. Maybe you can tell us your ambition. With your passion for coral reefs and with your passion for this particular project. What's your vision for the future?
So over the years working in the field, because before I started working here as a marine biologist, I have been involved in a lot of research works that work around the coral reefs around the east coast of Malaysia. So from Perhentian, Redang, Bengal, and a few more other islands on the west coast like Langkawi, Port Dickson, and also Perak. So over the years, I can tell that Malaysians are becoming more aware of the environment of what's happening around them, thanks to social media, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and all, and Twitter as well. But we need to do more than we have ever done to connect environmental sciences and the people, so that we can all together understand the fragility of our environment and also the importance of its protection. I want people to understand that protecting the environment is more than just using metal straw instead of plastic straws. There is definitely so much more we can improve on, but let's tackle them one at a time.
Yeah. Okay. So the big ambition is really looking after the environment, But right now your focus is coral reefs, and maybe like Jason, you can build little villages or kampong, right? So now you can many of these that will span our oceans, all right, or our sea, our oceans out there. But they do take long time to grow, right? So yeah, but we need to start now, lah. We need to start now,
Definitely.
right? So that's quite exciting. Maybe I will round up and wrap up and talk a little bit about ESG. It's environmental, social, and governance. This is a very important agenda for corporates and for companies. ESG is used, factors are used to evaluate the sustainability of the practices within a company. And part of this is sustainability, which means that things we do cannot be one time lah. It must be recurring and can be continued, right? Like the Alunan project, where it will keep growing, right? Not one time, you just plant one coral, habis. It's got to continue. And very much like Jason, what he says is that from one household become the whole village, and then become 2 village, become 3 village, become 4 village, it can grow, right? And so for me also with the Artisan Haven, I'm also looking at trying to help businesses. Don't just do a product and then 1 month, 2 months finish, but must sustain so that the business can keep growing, so that the household income can improve. And when the household income can improve, then like what Jason does, and in terms of the environment, people can spend more, buy more things, and the standard of living can go up. And with the coral reef, with the environment more and more protected, our standard of environment conservation can also improve, right? That's sustainability. And I hope, as Jason said, and I hope for IME as well, more corporates and companies will come up and support our activities, right? Because it's only when companies come up to support us that we can get our message out louder and wider. And then they benefit Malaysia, the people, and the environment, right? Okay, so that's very interesting. Thank you very much, Jason and Aimee. Very nice talking to both of you. And I now know both of you started with cement pots, right? If I see a cement pot, I know I will remember Aimee and I will remember Asli Ko. So thank you very much. Very happy to talk to you. And also a big thank you to Affin SME and AFFINGEM, all right, for this very interesting webinar, and for the opportunity for 3 of us to have a very good chat. All right, thank you very much. That's it from us. Thank you. So Gail, that's the end for us. It's a wrap.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Every entrepreneur dreams of overcoming all challenges to experience the sweet taste of success and to see their business soar to unrivaled heights. Affin Bank propels your business forward by offering banking without barriers and supporting your business goals.